Hello, my spiritual peeps, and welcome back for today's video. I'm excited to sit down with you today and chat with you about the project I have going on where I am creating a deck for my personal use. I know a lot of you expressed interest in this subject when I mentioned it in a previous video on Patreon, so I wanted to go ahead and just sit down and talk to you about where I'm at and kind of what I'm thinking and things like that. I took some footage of me working on a couple of the cards last night, so I'm not sure if that's before or after this. Future editing Leanne will have to decide. This was a project I started a couple of months ago, and for a long time I only had these 3 cards finished, and I was having a hard time connecting like the ideas for the cards in my brain with images. Obviously I can't reproduce any of these because I'm using magazines and stickers and other things that are subject to copyright, but for my own personal use it is what it is. But anyway, I was trying to think of like the concept for the card and the imagery at the same time, which just didn't work. So last night I went through all of, well, not all of, but some of my magazine images, and I found a couple of them. I pulled out this stack. I didn't get to all of it, but I just started, I'd look at it and be like, oh, this would be a good image for, because for instance, this one here, there is no other image than this, which is kind of a spread on a table with some alcohol and flowers, and it looks like they're gonna have like a nice dinner or something. And I was like, oh, that reminds me of gathering, you know, with friends and family, things like that. So that was kind of it with this one. I just wrote a time to gather and put a border around it. This one I thought was funny. It so matches my sense of humor. It's a picture of some guy falling out of a tree, which in itself is not funny. However, I thought it was kind of sassy, like it's time to get grounded, you know, like the card that would tell you you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. So that one came together quickly. This one, it's like, I don't really know what it's supposed to be, but it looked like it was snowing in the middle of the summer. I kind of picked this out to represent like, you know, the unexpected could always happen. So I need to work on that one. This one, I have had this image for a long time in my stash. It's this woman staring into a mirror. And it just like, it's one of those like shadow side images for me, and I never used it in anything in like any of my journals, but I thought it would be perfect for like letting go of old wounds type of card. So I have like this image where it was a girl and she had like a wound dressed, so I incorporated that. I have this image in the background. I have these like middle fingers washi tape that I layered on it. So this is one I'm still working on as well. Very like 3 of Swords vibes. But yeah, it's a fun project. I have to not limit myself. Like originally I was like, oh, I'm going to do all of the color cards, which I still intend to do, like a card for all of the colors, but putting myself like the restrictions of the deck on myself that way and being like, you have to work on all the color cards, it makes me not work on it. So working on it in this like randomly inspired way is definitely the route I want to go in. And I like that they're like this one, I like that this is the only image on it, because if I did find other things I wanted to add, it's easy enough to continue collaging and then just redraw the border. Same with the grounding card and things like that. So I think that's how I'm going to be approaching this project. But one element that I want to introduce into this is writing like my own guidebook to go with these cards, because a lot of these cards are like multifaceted. Like just talking to you about the time to be grounded card, you know, the phrase would be, like I said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I want to have like keywords and like a oracle message or a message of wisdom for myself. Again, this is all for my personal use, so it's really tailored to and based on my personal feelings and things, and what the images kind of bring about for me. But I think in the long term, I mean, if we're gonna get crazy like looking into this, it would be a great jumping off point for me to make a deck. I would already have the structure and the, you know, keywords and the ideas of what I'd want to put in it. I would just have to somehow properly license images and get those put together. But again, that's not something I'm worrying about right now. But I did want to make that book for myself. In case you are wondering how I'm creating these, I will leave this linked below. This is a blank tarot deck. They're like matte but also glossy at the same time. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's just a 78 card blank deck with this like very generic blue backing on them. And it's made things super easy. Obviously I could make a deck or like alter cards, like playing cards, which I've done in the past, but for such an involved project and someone who really likes, like, this brings me such satisfaction, just like shuffling the deck. So having this format to work in just makes it super easy. And I can definitely see myself making lots of these over my lifetime. So there's that. This also already works really well for me. I can tell because last night I did this before I was like putting the images away. And this one fell out of the deck. For those of you that don't know, I more often than not read with jumper cards, which are just cards that fly out. And it's a time to gather. And Chris was waiting for me to like go eat dinner with him. So it was basically like, stop pussyfooting around and get your butt in the living room to have dinner. And it was such a fun experience to have such a like personal deck that works with my guides in like that sassy fun way that I need it to sometimes, where it's just like, go. It was so fun to even just have that happen after only having a few cards done. So it's been really fun. Again, moving back to that guidebook thing, this is like probably not even a good notebook, to be honest. At one point I came into the acquirement of lots of these, and I have destashed a lot of them over the years, but I found this straggler, and it's like this terribly bound like book with this probably awful paper, but for some reason when I like flip through it, this like awful wrinkle style, it just, I don't know, it speaks to me like it needs to be the guidebook for this. So that's what I'm going to set up. My plan is to set up an index in the front here and number all these pages so that I don't have to worry about the cards. I'm not sure if I want to put numbers associated with my cards or not. I might at some point, possibly, but not at the moment. I just had the thought where I should put like the earth, the symbol for earth, in like a paint pen up here or something, possibly in that gold color that I've been using. Usually I'm a silver gal, but gold seems to be also popping up in here. So I will have to do that. But I just want to, like, again, like I said, number this, create my index, and then just start. It would be nice to like have an image of my card on the page while also writing about it, but I think I might just have to write the title for now. This book has enough pages so that I could have one page for each card. while I was hoping for a double spread. That's just not going to happen at the moment. So we'll see how this goes. But I just wanted to kind of talk to you about where I'm at and give you like a little update. After this, I will roll into some footage of me, like I said, working on those cards last night. It's not like a start to finish thing or anything, but it'll just be a little fun process to watch with some music for you. And I'll also put in some footage of me working in and setting up the guidebook, just because I know sometimes it's fun to have like company and things while you're working on your own projects. I feel like videos really are all about like having that energetic vibe of somebody else hanging out with you in the background. I think also, which is why we enjoy some videos over others and like people's company and things, because I really do think that energy is transferred through the screen, which is something that I am kind of becoming more and more aware of as I keep getting told over and over again by the cards to stop watching so many videos and actually like focus on what I should be focusing on, especially first thing in the morning. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little chit chat and update. I will leave you with that footage so you guys can watch. Let me know if you are doing a project like this yourself, if you've done one in the past, if you want to do one. Leave all those details below. I would love to hear about them. All right, guys, I will catch you again soon. Take care. Bye.